She did, but her love always came with the unspoken judgment that she would have loved me more if I were a boy. It was around that time that I started to ask my brother regularly for his hand-me-downs. It was also around that time that I started to realize that a part of me really was male. Being able to accept that fully, however, would take many years. But I'm here and I'm not going anywhere.
That was amazing. Thank you. I want to switch a little bit and talk about language, because
You want to talk about what?
language. Because English is not your first language. English is not my first language. So writing in English is very hard. Why was English your choice?
Okay. I will answer that. Okay.
I'm Orange. Hi, everyone. Blue is here. Good job, Blue. Thank you. Okay, so the question is, why English? It's obvious. In English, I can say yes and mean yes. I can say no and mean no. I can say I don't know. I can say get off me, go away. I can say what I feel. I learned that because I came here at 19. I became an adult here in English, where I have a voice and my voice matters. In Persian, I regress to a child. I regress to a timid person who has to say yes, because my life depended on saying yes when I meant no. I had to always pretend that everything is happening, it's okay. So if I wrote this book in Persian, I probably would have left a lot of the stuff out. I would be too scared to write the truth. But in English, it actually gives me pleasure to write everything. Because also I didn't think I'm gonna publish it. So I just was like, I'm gonna write whatever. Because here, I belong only to me. I don't belong to anyone. I will never belong to anyone. Even my partners, it doesn't, I am my own person. I get to say what I want. In English, I can do it. But somehow when I speak Farsi with people, I notice I switch to this very submissive person. And most of us are not really submissive. But in Persian, most of us are kind of submissive because it's a learned behavior. But in English, I learned I can be whatever I want, and I'm not a submissive person. So, not that there's anything wrong with being submissive. I can play submissive, but actually, I wrote an essay that got published on Thursday. Why I wrote my memoir in Persian. So if you look it up, Lit Hub, Atash, Yaghmaian, you can read it, and I explain it so much better than I did right now. Because in writing, somehow, I feel like words, just flow out of me. I always, afterwards, I look at it, I'm like, I did that? It's amazing, but in talking, it's I don't know, I can't edit it. But in writing, you can always go and make it better and better and better. So if you want to know why I wrote in English, you can read that.
I'll definitely read it. And you came to the US, to New York, without any English. 4 words of English. What were those 4 words?
I'll take that. I'm black. Hello. How are you? Fuck you. And cheeseburger. That's all you need.
And how did you develop the language?
Well,
in the beginning when I came to US, I was undocumented and I didn't have money. I had $200 in my, oh, that's my book too. It's not out yet. I'm still writing it. Should I talk about it?
Yes.
You're cheating.
No.
So I would go to, I learned that there are libraries, there's free English classes for immigrant people. So also I was so scared, like I was just so scared, like, but despite how scary everything was, I knew because I'm not being abused and the people who are supposed to love me are not hurting me. It's like there's no one who's hurting me. I knew I'm gonna figure it out. So I just had to learn English. And then I had to get a job. And then I had to, so I knew what I have to do. So I would just go sit in the libraries and there will be ESL classes and there will be so many other immigrant people learning. And I just felt like right at home and everyone was like, what's your name, honey? And I would be like, Atash. And they were like, la, 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 la. I had no idea what they're saying. And I was like, They're like, you speak English? I'm like, hello, how are you? Cheeseburger. They were like, that's it? So they were like, okay, they were like, my name is Veronica. And I would be like, okay, my name is Atash. So little by little, they would just like work with me. And I loved, it was like putting a puzzle together, learning English. I loved it so much. So little by little, and then I was like, okay, I have to go to college. And being undocumented and go to college, very hard. But I'm so happy that was then and not during this time with Trump and everybody like hating immigrants. It's like, even then was scary, but I can't imagine being an immigrant now. Anyway, that really upsets me. So hopefully we're all really nice to immigrants. Yes?
I didn't know that in bookstores they give free classes of English.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Immigrant run for other immigrants.
Wow.
It's like kind of hidden.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's how I did it, and then I went to college. Once I had a little foundation. Sorry.
You talk about this in the book, but what is the image of you escaping Iran and arriving in New York? How do you remember that?
Okay.
Well, I couldn't, when I was finally in the plane that was gonna come to JFK, and I know JFK is in New York. Also, like when I was in Iran, I saw these magazines. It was a Life magazine. People were so happy in it. And I was like, where is that? And people were like, it's New York. I was like, why people are so happy? They're like, because they're free. So I was like, I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Like, it was a dream of mine to come to New York, and I live in New York. And so I knew that, but I also knew, like, I don't speak English, and I don't know. Like, when I left Iran when I was 19, but like the way I looked and the way I behaved, it was like a 14-year-old. Because I was so sheltered and I was just so scared all the time. Actually, that worked out for me because a lot of people wanted to protect me. A lot of strangers, especially women, wanted to protect me. They would just take me in and love me, and they would just like help me. And that also, and then I would always be like, what can I do in return? They were like, when you grow up, do that for another person. And I dedicated the last 20 years of my life helping young people to find confidence, find themselves, like to just like become free. That's not how, I did not answer the question. Okay, so the question is like, how did I feel?
Yeah, how was the
So
transition?
I knew I just have to get to New York. So when I got to JFK, I was like so happy. I was like, oh my God, I made it. And once I got the stamp to go through, I just didn't know like what's gonna happen. Like what is it gonna happen when I walk? But when I walked out, I saw all these people. Many of the people look like me, and many people look different. It was like the whole world in JFK. And that was so exciting. And I was like, the whole world is here, and they're figuring it out. So I'm gonna figure it out, because there's a lot of immigrants here, so they figured it out, so I'm gonna figure it out. So I knew that. But seriously, I think because I have DID, I can't hide how scary things are for myself. So I just go one day at a time. Hopefully the right part comes out and do the right thing, and it totally works.
It's true. True story.
And yesterday, you said a story. You mentioned that to get to college, you lived in Jersey, and that you have to hitchhike
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
I want you to tell that story.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not about the book, but it's about, okay, fine, I tell you. I'm actually writing this bit right now. Because like a lot of people are like, wow, you're so brave. Like you are so brave. But the truth is, yeah, I'm a little brave, but a lot of people helped me. That is the truth, you know? Not like, okay, I'm brave, but I have to give credit to all these people who have helped me. A lot of them, I don't even know their names. So, like, I was like 19 going to college and coming to America. It's like I was homeless, I was undocumented, I was living under the boardwalk, hitchhiking to school. Like, it was a mess. But I had like got myself some cute outfits. I would wear the shortest shirt and the shortest shirt because I just like ran away from Iran and I wanted to just be free. So I would just wear very little. And I was exploring like my sexuality and like how sexy I am and da-da-da-da-da. But I was also a target because I was like abused there and now I'm here, I'm dressing like that. Like I was a target, right? I didn't know that, but these women who were watching me, they knew I'm a target. And they helped me. So many women would help me. So like I would be hitchhiking with my short shorts and all these men would stop. And maybe they had good intentions, but they would stop in their car, stop, like, get in my car, get in my car. And all these women also, they would wear their car and stop and they're like, come over here. And I'm like, do I know you? They're like, come over here. Don't get in that car. Don't get in that car. Just come to my car. I'll take you. Where do you need to go? I'm like, I'm going to college. I take you to college. Don't get in that car. Like, stuff like that, you know?
And
So I had like 3 women. I had 3 women at 8:30, 9 o'clock. They would pass this highway on Mays Landing because I was in New Jersey then. And they, if I'm there at that time, they will pick me up. So we had made that arrangement, so I never had to hitchhike again. Strangers, they would just like, I don't know, they would come out of nowhere and just help me. So when I see someone in trouble, I notice and I will go up to them. I'm like, come over here, let me help you out. Because they did it for me. And they didn't want anything in return. They just was like, pass it to someone else. And I think I have. And I think writing this book is also one way of passing it. Passing what I've learned to other people.
You are.
I really hope
This microphone. I really hope these women will find this book and read it once the America book comes out, and they will find me because I really want to like thank them, like all these people. But I don't like those days. There was no like social media but hopefully they would know. Oh, that was the girl I picked up from from the side of the street hitchhiking. Like I really hope I will find them one day, or they will find me, because I really want to thank them.
Maybe they will. Maybe you'll stop.
I practice it. I planned it because I know I'm gonna cry.
Just take a moment. Do you want to do?
No, I seriously love crying. I'm like, please don't stop making me cry. Like, I like crying.